Here we go. We got the next set of battles coming in. And today we have a AVB team featuring the Dunsparce with double Psywave users. So as you can see right here, our opponent does switch into their Diggersby. And we're just going to go into this Grumpig because we are going to be able to do neutral fast moves, and we have the dynamic punch to fire back. This is quite the change, Grumpig coming into the meta, and you can see it's in full display right now. We are going to get farmed down by that Morpeko, which is a little bit unfortunate because Morpeko very, very spammy, and as you can see, ramping up all their energy very quickly. They go for the Aura Wheel, and our opponent is double boosted at this point. That's going to be a shield for them. Here comes another draw run, another shield, and we just got to try to sack this because this Morpeko has too much energy and too much closing power. So we finally get them to reset all that boost, and now we're going to try to win this game with this Dunsparce. Our opponent is able to get to this brine, and unfortunately we are not going to be able to recover from that. So looks like we need a little bit more bulk, so we decided to go into the Diggersby. Essentially is the same idea. We got the normal and two Psywave users. We just trying to bring in more bulk to the team so that we can survive more moves, as Grumpig and the Malamar unfortunately pretty fragile. As you can see right here, we got the Gastro to deal with, and let's see if they end up shielding here and letting this go. Okay, they let it go. Unfortunately, we don't get any shields. We're gonna have to go for this Shadow Ball right here. We do grab the shield, which is exactly what we want. We wet the timer and we go into the Diggersby, fire off this Scorching Sand, and we do get the debuff. So if they throw a flame charge, we do survive it, and that's exactly the case. So we just gotta shield here and hope for the best. They give us the a little bit extra farm, and we're gonna have to use this Malamar to perfection. Here goes the first foul play. Our opponent does, I think, shield that one. There goes the Rock Tomb to debuff us, and now we have to do our best to try to get to the next superpower. We had the back-to-back. Easily takes up the Krigdeely, and then we swap out into the Diggersby to farm down. So well played by us. The Malamar having closing power is pretty awesome, especially since we had a weird situation where we had to throw probably not the super effective move, foul play versus the Krigdeely, and then we had to get the back-to-back superpower. Okay, after the little reset, we are going to have battles coming back in. We do see the Sableye, and they swap out into their Blastoise. Blastoise running Skull Bash, very interesting. They decided to boost their defense, and now we're just going to be able to get to the second dynamic punch. Do we survive this is the question. Yes, so we had a great decision to tank it, and then we are gonna get our matchup that we want, which is Diggersby onto this Sableye. Sableye is looking to get to a big move, but like we said, we switched to a tank, so we are able to survive this move. They actually have the return and not Dazzling Gleam, so this is pretty solid. Our opponent does have the Drapion in back, and this is a great opportunity to bait, and we do get them to shield. Now we're going to go into our Malamar. We tank the first crunch. They try to catch, and that's going to allow our Malamar to get that little extra energy. This is going to allow us to get to multiple moves. We have a shield here that we can use. We decided to use it because we are right back at the move, and down goes the Drapion. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game, avoiding the sacks swap by them. Plus, the Malamar, like we discussed, closing the game, which is kind of interesting. not the lead we wanted. So we go into the Grumpig, and now we see their Skeletors running Torch Song. Torch Song is going to ramp up their incinerate damage. So unfortunately, we got to let it go. We're going to have to go into this Diggersby now. This is going to get kind of scary because this... Oh, it is running the double fire move. So Torch Song Blast Burn combo. Our opponent here gets tanks their Scorching Sand onto their Gastro. And at this point, we got to be able to win this game with the Malamar. We get the farm down. That's beautiful. Our opponent was relatively energy dry, so we fire off this foul play before they get to their next move. And now we have to do our best here to catch a move. But our opponent actually ends up going for Psychic Fang. That is not the right move. And we do grab that last shield, which allows us to get to this superpower for the win. So GG's to our opponent. Not sure if they thought that we were going to try to catch the move, or if they were only going to have to go for the Psychic Fang to take us out. But I believe if they just went for the big move, they would have been able to win the game. Okay, this lead here is unfortunately the worst lead to deal with. Remember, we're using side wave users in the back, so we're not really dealing any fast move pressure. And you can see they decide to sniff out our backline, and they have a Sand Slash. And this is going to be kind of difficult because once again, both side wave users are not really going to do anything towards this Sand Slash or Mandibuzz, it seems. However, the charge moves do threaten potential KO, so that's why we ended up grabbing 2 shields, and then we go straight into our Diggersby. They are going to counter with the combo play, and as you can see right here, the idea is to stay in with the Diggersby, try to do as much damage as possible, because we're not going to be able to farm down from that particular range, but now we can farm down with the side wave user. And let's see how much energy we get. Pretty good, pretty decent amount. Our opponent here has the Cradily. We're going to go for this foul play to soften it, and it actually does a decent amount, so we are going to be able to use another foul play to soften this Sand Slash. Ice Punch does get used, doesn't quite KO, and we are going to be able to get the farm down and perfectly close this game with the Malamar. So check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.